Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to see the basic takeaways that we need to take and that help us to just understand the most just well-known book just written to understand the business, how operate, and how we are going to trade, how we are going to sell sales, right? That's written by it is the secret of selling anything. It's a book, the secret of selling anything, right? The first takeaway that we need to take from this is what, right? Or that help us to understand how we sell is what? Understand your customers. That is the first step, right? You have to understand your customers, the people, society, what they need, what are the basic pain, right? So how we're going to just understand the customers, how we do that, right? First, you have to conduct what? Market research to gather data on your what? Target audience or the customers, demographics, psychographics, and what the behavioral patterns, right? What are their culture, what product they are mostly using. You have to understand them. You have to have a market research, right? You have to gather really important information about the target group that you want to just deliver your product, right? Or what you are going to sell. You have to understand whether they need or not. The second step is what? You have to engage with what? Your customers through surveys, right? And also you have to interview and you have to focus groups to gain what? Deeper insight into their needs, desires, and plan points, right? Step 3, you have to create a detailed customer personas to just represent a different segment of your audience, right? Step 4, you have to just create detailed customer person to represent different segment of your audience. Step 5, you have to use this persona to tailor your sales pitch, ensuring it resonates with the specific need and what preference of each segment, right? That is the second one is what? Focus on values. The second takeaway from this book is what? You have to focus on the value, not the profit, right? Focus on the value of the product, right? The service, right? Step 1, identify the key benefits and what the solution your product or service offer to solve your customer's problem. What is the problem that you are going to solve, right? You have to understand. Step 2, you have to highlight how your product or service can improve your customer's life or the business, or you have to just emphasize tangible results and outcomes, right? Step 3, you have to use real life examples, right? Testimonials and case studies to what? Demonstrate the value your products or service has provided to others, right? By this, you can just focus on the values. Fourth, you have to just focus on the unique selling propositions or that differentiate your product from just competitors and make it what? A better choice for your customers, right? That is the third takeaway that we need to take from this book is what? Build trust. You have to build a trust. That means you have to have a good trust to the people, the customer, all the society, right? How we are going to build this trust? The first one is what? You have to establish credibility by what? Showcasing your expertise, experience, and qualification in your field, right? Step 2, you have to be what? Transparent about your products, strengths, and limitations, and you have to provide honest, straightforward answers to customers' question, right? And also step 3, you have to follow through what? On price, or you have to follow through on promise and a commitment. You have to ensure that you deliver on what you say you will, right? So by doing this, you can build trust. Step 4, you can build trust by building a reputation for what? Reliability and what? Integrity by consistency, providing high quality products and excellent customer service, right? Step 4, or just the fourth takeaway is what? Effective communication. This is also vital, right? You have to effectively communicate with the clients, the customers, the societies, right? That means you have to develop a good communication as a salesperson, right? How we are going to just develop this communication skill, right? The first is what? You have to practice active listening by just giving your full attention to what? The customers, the societies. Yeah, and also you have to acknowledging their concerns. You have to summarize your point to show understanding, right? That is how you build your communication skill, right? The second step that help us to build your communication is what? You have to ask open-minded or open-ended questions, right? You have to ask open-ended questions to encourage customers to share more about their needs and preference, right? You have to ask them what? Not yes no question, but open-ended questions, right? Open-ended questions are really important to get more information about your product, your service, right? The customer spend, what you're gonna solve in the next. All the stuff will be better to be asked by open-ended questions, right? Step 3, you have to use clear and concise and what? Persuasive language when just presenting your product or service, and also you have to avoid what? Jargons or just overly technical terms, right? By doing that, you can just be understood, right, by the customers, right? Step 4 is that help us to have a good communication is what? You have to adapt your communication style to matches, right? You have to adapt your communication style to match the preference of your customers, whether they prefer just a detailed explanation, visual aids, or hand-on demonstration, right? You have to understand that. Let us see the fifth takeaway that we take from this book is what? You have to develop a relationship, right? The first one, the previous one is what? Develop a communication, good communication, right? This is what? Developing a relationship or having a good networking, right? How we are going to develop this networking or ability, right? The first one is what? Treat each customer's interaction as an opportunity to build what? A long-term relationship rather than what? Just making sale, right? You have to treat each customer, each society, each people as what? An opportunity to just build your network, to build a long-term relationship rather than just selling one product, rather than selling or giving a service, right? You have to think in that way. The second one to help you to develop a relationship is what? You have to just provide exceptional service during and after the sale, right? And also you have to address any issues what promptly and courteously, right? This is what step 3 that help us to build a good relationship is what? Stay in touch with customers through follow-up calls, emails, or personalized messaging to show your value in their business, right? To have a good relationship, to understand them more and more, and you have to increase your engagement on that by whether maybe physically or maybe social media by using different platforms, maybe use a website or whatever the platform or anything you use. You have to engage with them, right? Fourth, you have to just offer loyal programs, just or special discounts, making discount, right? Or maybe a exclusive offer to reward just repeat customers and encourage a continual patronage, right? You have to offer discount. By offering a discount to those customers, you can bring them towards your business. You can build a relationship, right? That is so. The sixth takeaway that we need to take from this book is what? Adaptability. You have to adapt it, right? That means just adaptable to the product, society, everything, right? How we are going to just develop this habit or adaptability, flexibility, right? The first one is regularly seek feedback from what? Customers and colleagues to identify areas for improvement in your sales approach, right? You have to have just a feedback, right? You have to ask them, right? Or you have to be open to them to give you a feedback, right? By doing that, you can increase your adaptability skill, right? The other is you have to stay informed about what the industry trends, market conditions, the competitors' activity to what anticipate change and to adjust what your strategy accordingly, right? You have to be stay informed. You have to be having a good information, reliable information, or current information about the economy, all the thing happening, or that impacting your business, your product, right, or your service, right? You have to be stay informed all the time. The other one is you have to step 3 mean be willing to what experiment with what different sales techniques and approach to find what works best for different customer segments, right? You have to just experiment, always experiment new approach, experiment new method, new way of doing something, right? That is the best way, because one size never fit to all customers, right? You have to try different approaches. That is the best. The 7th takeaway that we take from this book is what persistency and resilience, right? Develop a persistent and resilience. How we are going to just develop this persistent or resilience, right? First, what you have to recognize that rejection is what a natural part of what sales process, and use it as what an opportunity to learn and improve, right? Sometimes rejection is what it's normal, right? It's normal in sales, right? Even if you are a salesman, you have to be just see rejections as normal, right? Never take as a personal, right? It's not a personal rejection. It's what a sales just rejection, right? Never mind that. And step 2, or the second point that help us to persist and resilient is what in sales is what develop what a thick skin, and maintain a positive attitude, right? Even in what in the face of setback, challenge, or maybe difficult situations, right? The third point is what set clear and achievable goal and create a plan to reach them, right? And so you have to break in large objective into what smaller and manageable actionable tasks, right? And also you have to what you have to celebrate the small achievements that you have made, right? Step 4, celebrate small wins along the way to stay motivated and use each what sources or success as a fuel to keep what pushing forward towards your larger goals, right? By doing this, you can develop your sales ability, the ability to sell anything, right? To become a salesperson. Sales is the number one, even the number of expert, right? The field profession in the world, right? Selling, right? Unless you sell, you never have a chance to be successful, right? You have to sell something, maybe the skill, maybe the knowledge, maybe whatever the thing you may have. You have to sell something, right? To become more and more success, right? That is